For the power rule, we can take the variable and we can drop it. We can drop that variable in front, or we can take it and raise it up to the exponent, correct? That's the power rule. It's on page 12, I believe. All right. So we're going to look at this one here, just example 5, because we did some on the board over there. So we have log base 2, log base 2. So that's helpful, so I'm going to rewrite it. Log base 3, or 3 log base 2 of P minus 3 log base 2 of Q. Right? Now what can I do with the numerical coefficient? Bring it up, because if I have the same base, that's one step. Check. The next step is I have to have plus or minus 1s in front. Not check currently. So I'm going to take that 3 and I'm going to raise it to the exponent. Take this 3, raise it to the exponent. And now I have log base 2 of P cubed, which goes in the numerator because there's a plus 1 in front now, right? Remember these just turn to 1s? Signs whenever you sign. And this one has a minus 1 in front, so the Q cubed goes in the bottom. Now, it tells me that P divided by Q is 8. Cool. Do I have P divided by Q currently, or do I have P cubed, Q cubed? P cubed, Q cubed. So can I take that 3 out and go log base 2 of P over Q all to the 3? We agree? Now what is P divided by Q the same as? 8, right here, right? So now, because I have P divided by Q, I can go log base 2 of 8 cubed. If that's confusing, remember you can take the 3, you could drop it in front, couldn't you not? So I can take this 3 and I can go right here. So I can go 3 times, technically, that's what that does, log base 2 of 8. Guys, what is log base 2 of 8? You know, to type it in, they'll tell you it's 3. Or I know it's 3 because I say 2 to what power is 8? 3, right? So I don't need my calculator. You can use it though, no problem. So I'm going to get the 3 from the front times, and then when I type log base 2 of 8 in my calculator, I get another 3. So my answer is 9. Okay? You guys try A quickly. So we have log base 2 of P minus log base 2 of Q. So this one's easier than the last one because they have a plus 1 in front and a minus 1 in front, base 2, so I can put them together, right? So I get log base 2 of P divided by Q, and P divided by Q is 64. So I get log base 2 of 64, which is what? 6. Okay, and we're going to flip over. Okay, B and C, go quickly. So, 4 log base 3 of A plus 4 log base 3 of B. Our problem here is we have the same base, but we don't have plus 1s in front. So this would be a 4 up here. Now I have a plus 1 in front. This one I bring the 4 up here. Now I have a plus 1 in front. I can only do that with logs, right? It has something the word log. So now I have log base 3. A to the 4 is in the numerator because it has a plus 1 in front. B to the 4 is also in the numerator because it has a plus 1 in front. We agree? There is no denominators this time. a to the 4, b to the 4. I need ab so that I can put it in 81. So a to the 4, b to the 4. They're both to the 4, so I can write this as log base 3 ab all to the 4, right? And then the ab I can replace with 81. So I get log base 3 of 81 to the 4, which I can drop that in front if I want to. 4 log base 3 of 81. Log base 3 of 81 is what?
16.
Log base 3 of 81 is 4. And then 4 times 4 is 16. You left the exponent up. You left the exponent up top and didn't bring it in front. Okay. So we'll get 4 times 4, which is 16, or what you typed in. You get 16. You might just left the exponent up. Yeah, because the 4 would have to go in with the 81. Like if you wanted to type this one in all at once, this 4 has to be in here. Technically. Right? Katie? If you want to type this, the 4 has to be inside the bracket. You want to type it that way. I technically should. All right. Okay, I want to go through, we're running out of time. Okay, let's look at this one. Log base A plus 5 log base B. Not log base B. Sorry, what's the base on these? There is no base. So what's the base? 10. So I'm going to write it out. So I'm going to go log base 10 of A plus 5 log base 10 of B. So they are log base 10, which screams put me together. But they don't scream put me together unless I put the base 10s. Correct? So the base 10, cool, I can put them together, or is there 2 restrictions in order to put them together? There's 2 things. They have to have the same base and they have to have plus or minus what's in front? 1. So this one has a plus 1 in front. So that's good. This one does not. So I have to bring that 5 up and put it in the bracket. So the 5 will go here. And now this has a plus 1 in front, correct? They both have plus 1s in front, so they're going to stay in the numerator. Yes? So I'm going to get log base 10 of A times B to the 5. Do I technically need that dot in between? No. They could just write it like this. Do I technically need the 10? Do I need to write a 10? No, because the 10 is just us writing it, right? So the answer they'll give you is not probably log base 10 of AB to the 5. They'll probably go log AB to the 5, like this. Okay? You guys try out the other ones. Go. Okay. So this one here, I don't have any bases, so I'm immediately going to put base 10 on both of them, so it screams put me together. We agree? Okay, I can't put them together currently, because here I have a plus 1 in front, and here I have a 9. So I have to go log base 10 of P. This one's good to go. It has a plus 1 in front. This one I have to bring the 9 up, join the Q, and put in brackets. So minus log base 10 of Q to the 9. And like I said, I don't take the sign with, I just take the number. So now I have a plus 1 and a minus 1. Plus 1 stays in the numerator, minus 1 stays in the denominator. So I'm going to get log base 10. P is in the numerator by itself. Q to the 9 is in the denominator. Log base 10, do I have to write the 10? So I could leave it like this, but they won't give the answer like that, right? They'll drop the 10 off. So it will be log, bless you, P over Q to the 9. Okay, this one, log base 10, but I have a 3 and a 7. So the 3 is going to have to come up here. and the 7 is going to have to come up here and go away. They both have plus 1s in front, correct? So they're going to go together in the numerator. So I'm going to get log base 10 of c cubed times d7. They won't have the little dot in between, they won't have the 10, so I'm going to rewrite it as log base 10. Oh, they wanted the 10 and I wrote it. Good job. Log c cubed d7. That's how it will look. Okay, 8, d, which has 8. Log base 10 of a, and then log base 10 of a squared. 8 is going to come up here. And so I'm going to get log base 10 of a to the 8 minus log base 10 of a squared. Right? They have base 10s. This one has a plus 1. This one has a minus 1. So I'm going to get log base 10 of a to the 8 divided by a to the 2. Now we're back to rationals, which I know you're all very excited about. I have snowballs. I have an A8 over an A2, right? So I can take out 2 of these for 2 of these. So I'm still left with an A6 in the numerator, and what's with my denominator? She gone, right? I have no denominator left. I don't have to write the base 10, so it's just going to be log a to the power of 6, no denominator, because the denominator is a 1, so I don't need to write it. If the numerator completely cancels off, I do have to keep the 1 behind. Remember that? Numerators, 1s have to stay, denominators don't. Okay, this one is base 10 as well. Plus 1 in front. This one doesn't have a plus 1, so I'm going to go log base 10 of m plus log base 10 of m cubed, but then the 2 has to join, so they multiply. So I actually have log base 10 of m plus log base 10 of m to the 6. See how they joined? Now they both have plus 1s in front, correct? So they're going to join by multiplication. So I'm going to get log base 10 of m to the 1, technically, times m to the 6. What do I do when I have 2 of the same bases? What do I do with those exponents? Add. Do I have to write the base 10 in the very end? No. So I can go log m to the 7. Okay? Now here, the 2 has to come up as in the numerator, or as the exponent, sorry, plus 1 in front. 2 has to come up as the exponent, plus 1 in front, and then C4 is here. So I'm going to get log base 10, these are all technically base 10. In the numerator, I have c squared. In the denominator, I have, in the numerator, I also have d squared. And in the denominator, I have c4. Now, 2 of these can cancel off 2 of these. So I'm left with log base 10, which I don't have to write the 10, d squared over c squared. So they could leave it like that, or they could technically write it as log dc all squared, right? It just match what they have. Okay? We will do these, not today. We're going to go here. So we will not be, we will not be given formulas all the time. Sometimes we are and sometimes we're not. So we're going to start off with these ones first. But the key thing here is if they give you a formula, they have to tell you what the variables stand for. And they have to give you the units that the variables have on them, like centimeters or seconds or whatever, right? It's not as bad as it looks if they give you the equation, I promise. It's not. Because all you need to do is be able to solve an exponential, which you do by converting to a log, which we've practiced. Okay? So let's look here and read the question. Everyone's paying attention so we're not lost. Phones away, please. So we have, in 2012, so that's when we're starting, the university population of a country was 160,000 people, right? And it was increasing at an annual rate of 4.5%. The growth in the university population can be represented by this exponential growth. Now, if you look here, this is always where my initial value will go, and we're going to practice that tomorrow. And so my initial value goes, they already put it there, so that's nice, correct? Now, they said it increases by 4.5%. The formula doesn't have a percent sign, okay? So what you actually do to get this number is they do 1 plus the interest, but the interest is in decimal form. So how do I convert 4.5% to a decimal? I divide it by 100. So if I go 4.5 divided by 100, I actually get 1 plus 0.045. And then when I put those together, I get 1.045, which is that number. Is everyone paying attention? So they're not lost, not doing other subjects because you're behind in them. You're doing math because you're in math class. That certainly doesn't look like my notes. Even though you're lovely individuals, and I appreciate you. It's not math. I'm back, it's fine. It's totally okay. Everything is awesome. All right. Where P represents the university population of the country as a function of the number of years since 2012. So N is the number of years since 2012. So if I did 2012, N would be 0. If I did 2013, N would be 1. 2014, N would be 2. Right? Nothing crazy. And population is people. So there you go. All right. Explain what the values of 160,000 and 1.045 mean. Well, 160,000 is the initial population in what year? 2012. Initial population of what? Of the university. In 2012. Okay. And what does the 1.045 mean? Well, 1 is what in percent? So 0.045 is 4.5%, correct? What is 1 in percent? If 4.5% is 0.045 in decimal, what is 1 in percent? 1 is a decimal. What is it in percent? It's going to get bigger because 0.45 is 4.5%. 1 is 100%, correct? 1 is 100%. So this 1 represents 100% and this 0.45 represents 4.5%. So I technically have 104.5%. This is technically 104.5% in percent. True? So is that getting bigger than 100% or less than 100%? Bigger. So if I'm growing, if what I'm doing here is growing, it's going to be more than 100%. If what I'm doing here is decaying or depreciating, it's going to be less, right? So if in that bracket I had like 0.97, I would know I would be decaying, depreciating by 3%, because 100 is flat. 100 is, if I said 100% of you are here, that's my flat rate. If I say 97% of you are here, you know someone's missing. If I say 103% of you are here, you're like, who's the extra human who wants to take math, who's not in math? Crazy human, right? So 100% is that's just your flat rate. That's where we want to be at all times. If we're above that, we're growing. If we're below that, we're decreasing, right? So here, I'm growing, right? So we can say the population, the 1.045 represents that the population is growing. True? 100% of the population would be 160,000. And so 1.045 represents that the population is growing. By 4.5% as the number is greater than 1. We agree? They want us to determine the population in the year 2015. So I put 2015 in for N? No, that'd be crazy. N is the year since 2012, right? It literally has to tell us this right here. So what would I put in for 2015? N equals 3 into that equation, right? So let's try it out. So I get P equals 160,000 bracket 1.045 to the power of 3. Now the reason why it's to the power of 3 is it grows by 1.045 every year, right? So I have to go 1.45, 1, 1.45, 2, 1.45 times 3, right? It's growing that much every year. Yes? So the equation makes sense itself. So type that in. And so I should have more population than when I started, correct? Because I am growing. If you have 160,000 and now you have 5,000, be like, sus. Like, that just makes no sense. We're growing by 4.5% and now I have 5,000. Like, she declined. Like, the university is losing its population. We have problems. Yeah.
So if it's talking about people, do you always bracket the nearest whole number?
Depends on what they're asking for a question. But yes, like I guess they could ask the nearest tenth, but they'll ask for a whole number. Okay, C, last one. It says determine the number of years required. So this time I'm looking for N to the nearest year, important, no decimal places, for the population to double. What the heck does that mean? What's my P going to be? 160,000 times 2, which is 320,000. Because P represents the university population of the country. So my formula is P equals 160,000 bracket 1.045 to the N. The greatest thing about this is you have a P or an N. N is number of years, P is people. I have 320,000. Is that years? No, so it has to go in for P. Like there's only two variables you could choose. You can't mess it up. You have to like pick the right one. N is years and this is not years. It must go in for P. Correct? Okay. So we do 320,000 equals 160,000. 1.045 to the N. If I'm missing the exponent, I need to convert it to a log. Currently, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of information. I can only have 3. So what do I have to do?
Divide 160,000.
You always divide the initial over. This will always be where your initial is. You always divide it over. If you have the final and you have this is the final, this is the initial. If you have both, you always divide the initial over. I like how it just threw a red there, just for fun. So now I have, technically, 2 equals 1.045 to the N. I know I didn't write a sentence in the last one. It's making me die inside a little bit. We don't have time. But we have those write sentences. And now can I convert it to a log? Yes. What's the base of my log? The base of my exponent, which is 1.045. What needs to go beside it? 2. And what does it always equal? And the exponent. So N is, to the nearest whole year, 16 years. So you would say it takes 16 years, or if they wanted the actual year, you go 2012 plus 16, which is 2028. It takes till 2028 for the population. Right?